Hi, it's Romy. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for taking the time to tune in. And if you're a returning subscriber, then welcome back. Taurus, this is your July 2020 tarot card reading. This is a general reading. It is designed to give you intuitive insights for the month ahead. You might also like to check out your rising and your moon sign for a more comprehensive overview. If you're enjoying my work and it resonates, you can also join me for the extended version of the reading. You'll find the details for that over on my website, which is romywyser.com, or in the description box underneath the video. Okay, Taurus, let's take a look, see what's coming through for you. Okay, Taurus, let's take a look at July's energy story for you. So working through Cancer season, and we have two new moons in Cancer. The first one took place on the 21st of June with that solar eclipse and solstice energy. And we have a second new moon coming in on the 20th. And for you, Taurus, what I feel we're looking at is the way that you're understanding how to meet your needs, your wants, your desires. And perhaps there's been some time of reflection where you've been looking at where you've just accepted the just enough. You know, if I just have a little bit more money, I'll be able to get over the line. If I have just a little bit more love from this person, I'll feel validated. If I just put in a little bit more effort, I'll see the big results. And it's like, I honestly feel as we work through this energy, and it's all about third house for you, right? So it's the way that you're thinking, it's your state of mind, it's how you're finding direction. There's a need to kind of get to the heart of the matter of actually what it is that you really do need, and where you are in that place of accepting less than you deserve, or less than actually is really nourishing you at a deeper level, mind, body and soul. There's this mindset shift and this understanding of what needs to change, and you really need to kind of take hold of that and direct it in a way. And so here I see this kind of crossover point that comes up through this month of July. We're still deep in eclipse season. So the 5th brings a full moon in Capricorn, partial lunar eclipse into your 9th house. It's about expansion. Yeah, now the 9th house is ruled by Sagittarius, and we open up your reading here with a new deck. This is the Painted Tarot and the Knight of Wands linked into the sign of Sagittarius. So this is about looking boldly into the future with that new sense of adventure and possibility and expansion. But here we need to really balance up the reason, the logical aspects of the practicalities. What is it that actually is going to help us get from this point, and able to move to the new pathway or to the next stage in our life. And just enough isn't going to cut it. So what I'm seeing for you, and what I invite you to play with in terms of possibility in your mindset right now, is as you balance out that reason versus the emotion. Like, what is the deeper emotion at the root cause of things? Like, what are you not receiving enough of? Where is there lack? Where is there still a sense of hardship in one or more areas of your life? Because the Knight of Wands is bringing in this amazing, powerful burst of energy for you to kind of propel you forward and give you that courage and that sense of conviction to really follow through in terms of having the conversations. Remember, 3rd house is about the way that you communicate, how you're going to express yourself. So using different kind of a language, like, coming together with people and being able to put forward a different perspective that really honors your wants and needs and desires. And I think if you find yourself not doing that, or trying to avoid it because it feels like the difficult conversation to have, and perhaps you feel like somehow you then have to justify why you're asking for more or why what you're receiving isn't good enough, that's going to be more of an uncomfortable energy to sit in the long term. So Knight of Wands wants to come in and give you that powerful motivation, that lovely fire energy that we're going to be tapping into as we move forth into Leo season. But right now I think it's also giving you passion. Look at all the red, the warmth that's coming in for this particular card. And I feel like you are focused. You're looking at where you want to be directing yourself, and perhaps it's away from some areas of your life that just haven't been supporting your ability to thrive. It's not a month that's necessarily going to feel like everyone's on board with you, or everyone understands the choices and decisions that you're making, you know. But I feel that this is about a time that you need to be rewarding yourself, and you need to acknowledge how you're going to go after things that are better serving of you at this point. So here we have the Page of Swords coming in. She's a messenger, connected into the element of air, so perhaps a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. If this is connected to relationships, there is a little bit of a opposing energy that we get going on between the two cards here. They're kind of moving in slightly different directions, yeah? The Page of Swords kind of coming out from the darkness in this particular depiction, and it really sort of connects me into what's been going on within this eclipse season. So what has been revealed for you? What has changed? Because I feel like there's probably been that moment of stark awareness for you in one or more areas where you've absolutely like come to the moment of, okay, like that's just not something I can tolerate anymore. This needs to shift. This needs to change. Now, the Page of Swords very much linked into the idea of how we communicate. You know, she's somebody that wants to express things, wants to share news, wants to spread news. Wonderful energy to work with from a business and career perspective. In fact, both of these energies working really favorably for you this month, Taurus, as you try to get your message out, or as you try to connect and to network with people. I have a sense of recovery coming in as well, and perhaps bouncing back way quicker than you might have expected in different areas of your life as well. That Knight of Wands is suggestive that actually there are some positive opportunities that are set to also come through to you. What is required though is again that you step up and put yourself in the path of those opportunities. So sitting back and waiting for them isn't going to bring them to your door. What you need to do is exercise that kind of pre-paving of the energy. You need to start seeing into what's coming, feeling and sensing into the energy. Cancer wants us to feel and sense things, remember. And you have the ability to do that, you know, so start to focus your attention on not just receiving enough, you know, not just manifesting a little bit. Go bigger, go bolder. This is about a time when you're getting to completely reimagine what's next for you, what the future looks like for you. I also see some real recognition coming in for you in terms of either your abilities, your gifts, something that you've already delivered, or you are presenting in terms of what you want to deliver. I see for some of you relationships having the opportunity to come together in a more balanced way now that Venus has moved direct as of the 25th of June. Now remember, Cancer is still retrograde in Cancer until the 12th, so still the opportunity for a little bit miscommunication and things getting misunderstood and misconstrued, and it can also be a very sensitive time, so we can end up taking things very personally. Four of Coins coming in here is suggestive perhaps you're still holding your cards a little bit close to your chest, or somebody else's, and I feel if you're waiting for communication to open up, probably see that slightly more towards the middle and end of July, when things energetically are going to feel a little bit more clear. Now, I also think that you're looking at how you're going to start to invest in different areas and aspects of your life. Again, I see you making some really interesting choices at the moment, looking at perhaps a particular investment. Maybe there's a little bit of uncertainty as whether it's the right timing. What I'm picking up for you, Taurus, is if there is something that's bigger on your mind, I think as long as you're open to the fact that it might not all come together or be fully realized in the immediacy of this month, I think it can be a sound investment. I would just say sort of proceed with caution. But I tell you, if it's coming from a place of you coming to a new point of understanding or conclusion about your worthiness, about your value, and actually about what your true needs are, and perhaps where they haven't been met, either by, you know, a particular person, a job, a business, you know, a situation that you find yourself in, and that's what's driving this requirement to want to invest or to look in a different direction, I think that's positive, because I think that's where Spirit want to guide you. You know, it's all about helping to support you step into your best self. And remember, we've still got a lot of planets retrograde right now, so you're still assimilating information. You're doing a lot of planning in the background. You don't necessarily need to share all of those plans or start to get everything out all at once. I know the Knight of Wands is probably pushing you to try to get something out there. But the Tower energy coming in, right, is indicative, I think, of something coming in to disrupt a path or a way of thinking or a particular situation that it does require like an overhaul. So that's how I want you to look at it. It's just like an overhaul energy. And if you do find yourself in a place of avoidance, so for perhaps, you know, if you're in that relationship and you're still not receiving what it is that you need, if you're, you know, lamenting kind of a particular approach in your business and it just isn't working, you know, if you're going back into a job that you know is so unhealthy for you at every level, here's where I think the universe and the kind of fated aspect of the Tower steps in to say, do you know what, like, we want better for you, and I know this might be a little bit painful, but we're going to tear this away, or we're going to disrupt this, or we're going to cause some chaos and some change in your life in order that we can deliver you a better, brighter pathway that is actually far more in alignment with not only who you are now, but who you are becoming and what you actually want for yourself. So trust in that unfolding. And can it feel chaotic? Can it feel a little bit like it uproots things? Yes, it can, but it is, remember, in and of itself, a positive energy. The Tower doesn't come along to tear things to pieces that are truly right for us or meant to be on our soul path. It comes along to make a change and an adjustment because either we've been sidetracked or, you know, there's just new learning and growth that has to take place. So Ten of Wands coming in here, and I think perhaps again it's this reminder that, you know, where there are aspects of what you're dealing with that feel really heavy or dense, and you know, this is a very spiritual month through July, but I think the energies at times are going to feel a little bit oppressive and overwhelming. Now we have the opportunity to be able to clear that, and again, I kind of like the fact that the Tower energy placed next to the Ten of Wands is the very thing that you need to kind of break this cycle. So if you find yourself in that place where you just keep saying yes, or you keep taking on more, or you can't see a way out, you can't see the wood for the trees, and it's just you feel like you've got no option, you feel like you've got no choice, well, this is where I actually see the breakthrough coming to be able to say there are so many more possibilities than you are allowing yourself to see right now. Okay, the thing with the Ten of Wands that we need to remember is that everything that you've put in, all of the investment that you've made, Taurus, whether it be, you know, into a relationship, into yourself, into your work, to your family, to your home, all of these areas have benefited as a result from it, and so have you. So has the growth and the understanding and the way that you are shaping and coming to terms with the value and who you are and how you express yourself and what that means and what you have to share with the world, and, you know, coming to terms with your own gifts and abilities. And so none of it's lost. So even if there's a change that has to come in because now there's a redirection that might take place, you take all of that knowledge with you. And in actual fact, what I think you're going to see is that actually there's more karmic rewards come as a result of some profound change that may well land through this month than you might be expecting. Okay, so how we come to terms with both the reasoning and the emotion of things is really intrinsic in terms of your experience of moving through July. So here we have the star energy, and I love the placement of this because you know, she looks on to this situation that unfolds. Now this could link into an Aquarius energy, so that might be relevant for some of you, but really what I'm feeling for this is it's about the healing energy that's delivered to you to help you navigate and to take the next step, and actually to be really bold with that. It's about not losing sight of what your vision is, not losing sight of what it is that you're really wanting for yourself in terms of meeting those deeper heart's desires, and understanding that there's a lovely sense of renewal and hope and optimism that is set to be delivered. Remember I said that as we come to that full moon in Capricorn, that partial lunar eclipse is also about positive, exciting change. And here's the thing, sometimes the Tower can actually feel quite exciting in terms of the change that it brings. Now, not all of us are you know, very able to kind of process change and always feel really comfortable with it. And as an earth sign, sometimes it can be more challenging for you, Taurus, but I think there's an awful lot of you that are also really ready for that in your life. And particularly with what you might have experienced in the last few weeks, just like really looking for something to come through that's going to give you that sense of what comes next or where the direction is that comes in. You have some amazing ideas that are coming through with that star energy, and I think it's also going to serve well in terms of some of the relationships that you're looking to try and connect with in a more meaningful way. Remember when we talked about the idea of there being 2 new moons this month in the sign of Cancer? So on the 20th of the month, when we revisit that again, here we have the 2 of Wands, and you're planning, you're looking ahead to the future, and you're deciding on all of the possibilities that are now being presented before you. And I think you're looking on how you can get a shared vision with someone or with a group of people that is really going to help enable the path for you moving forward. And I think there is something important about you getting on the same page and finding the right energies that are going to be supportive of what it is that you're looking for moving forward. Okay, remember when we talk about this idea of being upfront and honest about what your wants and needs are, this is the time that you need to be saying that and being really clear with it, okay? And maybe again, it's because your ability to actually communicate what's on your mind and say it how it is and you know, present that might not be fully appreciated, or it might cause some chaos, or you might kind of put the cat among the pigeons a little bit in an area. But again, just trust that if that's where you're really being guided, it's what's necessary in order to instigate a catalyst for change that is set to be more positive. You know, the star energy is looking forth on this and saying, yes, as soon as this unfolds, I'm able to step in and almost bring this beautiful sense of calm and peace, and sort of, you know, after the storm, like the star comes after the tower and just delivers that lovely sense of serenity again. So, you know, whatever it is that needs to erupt, and, you know, maybe there is some challenging words or difficult conversation, or, you know, even a choice that you come to that you know is about to change everything. You need to trust that. Again, the 2 of Wands is about you looking forward. I see that, you know, she's looking forward again with the Knight of Wands. So as your star, so, you know, there's a sense as well. I mean, I think it's kind of interesting, you know, because I sort of see this as the past and looking forward to the future. So perhaps there's a revisiting of the past that we need to do before we are able to reconcile or give ourselves permission to be free and clear in terms of what comes next for us. So be prepared that in retrograde season, you know, we are having to sometimes dip back into different types of energies. Okay, so here we have the Knight of Coins and linking into Earth, which is a place that you're going to feel much more comfortable. And again, it's suggestive of, I think, you really moving in a different direction, perhaps. You know, I think there's an expansion aspect to what's coming in you in July for you, Taurus. And with that, there's a need to stay committed and focused. And there's an understanding that, okay, not everything might be fully realized right now, but actually the seeds that you're planting are set to come to fruition beautifully as we move forward through the next few months and into the early part of next year. I also think it's a reminder that, you know, sometimes like the best things in life, like they do take that kind of showing up over and over and over again. You know, people that have amazing, wonderful, connected relationships work at them. People that have thriving businesses show up every day. People that have, you know, wonderful bodies and that are healthy take the time to nourish themselves and stay committed and focused. And I think there's an understanding that's emerging through this month of July in a particular area for you that's really coming forth with this sense of clarity about, okay, these are my needs, these are my wants, and I know what I have to do to be able to show up and make that happen. And I just don't think that you're going to be afraid to take that on, and you know that it's going to be a process, but the deliverance of what you're looking and expecting for is absolutely available to you in that. And I think it's actually going to give you a little bit of peace of mind, to be honest, and actually help you in that kind of crossover point that I see coming. I also think there's an interesting negotiation that's set to take place through this month of July, Taurus. Now, that negotiation could be in terms of a relationship, you discussing what both of you are looking for in the future and perhaps changes or plans that you're going to be making, or it could be connected into work and career. Here we have the 9 of coins, and it's very much linked. We've got this beautiful burst of this yellow energy, very linked into your solar plexus, which is the area of all of your empowerment and links in powerfully to your own intuition. And what we have here is you recognizing not only all of the accomplishment that you've already made, but those aspects of your life that are working well, but also need tweaks and adjustments in order for you to really feel that sense of I'm exactly where I need to be, I'm exactly where I want to be. So that negotiation, I think, is really important. And how you show up to that, I need you to remember that the more you can get out ahead of the energy. So if you know something's coming, and even if you haven't yet seen the opportunity, but it is what you are looking for, please take the time through this month of July. We have a gorgeous sun trine with Neptune on the 12th, which I think would be a particularly auspicious time for you to recognize and tune in to work energetically, in terms of thinking about how you can start to realize and pin that vision down energetically, put the foundations in place. See yourself having the conversation, see yourself being able to be successful and victorious in terms of receiving the deal that you want, or being able to get hold of the mortgage for the new home, or being able to take a relationship forward, however it's showing up for you, where that negotiation comes in. I want you to work ahead of time. That is going to really indicate to you just how powerful your energy is going to be through July, but also the way that you have changed, and the way that you are able to really assert yourself in a slightly different way. And actually, I think there's a really favourable outcome to come up for this, for some of you, okay? I love all of the richness of the energy coming in, and I just feel that it's going to be rich in possibility. And I think that negotiation, that conversation is pivotal. It's going to open up something completely new for you. Completely new. And not only I feel is it set to help you realize where you've been selling yourself short, or where you haven't really taken full advantage of your potential, or everything that you have to offer. I also think it's going to take your current vision and sort of almost shatter it so that you can reimagine it 10 times more. So it's just like whatever it is that you're asking for, back to this idea of don't let it be just enough. Go bigger. Go bigger. What do you not only want now, but what does your life look like in 5 years from now, in 10 years from now? This is the kind of energy that you are working with, and the playing with this possibility and the sowing the seeds at the moment is so vital. And it's not just about your own experience. It's like the type of energy that you want to thrive in. What do you want the collective to look like? What do you want the places that you go to work, or the friendships and the connections that you're forming to feel like to you? So whatever unfolds, it has such an important crossroads and changeover point. And actually, I think it's going to deliver something really quite spectacular. Even if it doesn't show itself fully in the month of July, you're going to start to see the details of it, okay? Let's take a look and see how these oracle cards are just reflecting your reading, Taurus. Okay, unicorn, invite serendipity. Yeah, I think there's just this nod to wanting to be a little bit more open to the magic and to the fate, really. But I love this idea of serendipity. I think it is a very fated karmic time at the moment that we're in. And I think through July, which is a very spiritual energy that's kind of guiding us, you are going to feel that inextricable pull forth. Now, she looks completely at ease here, on the back of this unicorn. So there's something about, almost at times needing to surrender and rest and just let fate kind of power things forward for you. And allow, again, yourself to think about how different things could be. You know, it's in the sort of musing, it's in the daydreaming, it's in the thoughtful moments that just start to see what would it be like if, and you know, just opening your heart and your mind. And I think that that's where, you know, energetically you're just working at a really powerful level. And I know for some of you, like, that might be tough because you perhaps work on a much more reasoning, logical, practical, earthly energy. But this is why you have to find a balance this month between those two aspects, yeah? But I think there are going to be some very interesting revelations and connections that are going to show up for you in this month of July. But I also have this sense, like, Spirit say to me, like, it's going to be up to you. So to me, what that highlights is that there will be possibility, there will be opportunity, but your free will is going to kick in strongly. And, you know, perhaps there'll be more than one thing on the table. Just remember that all paths will lead you from a soul growth perspective exactly where you need to be, and you will receive everything in the journey, you know. So each journey delivers to us challenges, each journey delivers to us celebration and growth, so you can't really get it wrong in that regard. So your astrological card is Pluto, transformation. So Pluto is still retrograde right now through Capricorn, which is your 9th house of expansion. It's really having to almost retract before we allow ourselves to then step forward into more. And remember, Pluto wants us to do that deep work. So there's a kind of shadow aspect that comes forth. And eclipse season helps to bring that up and into the light. So it's strong, bold energies that you're working with, and definitely it can feel uncomfortable at times, Taurus. I just think that, you know, in asserting yourself and really being more vocal about what it is that you need and want and expect, and honouring yourself in that way, I think for some of you that is going to be stretching you beyond your comfort zone. But when you are giving yourself permission to do it, I think that's when you're really going to see the rewards and the benefits of it. So you know that the big bold moves that you make and the decisions and choices that you come to are going to pay off for you. Star Keeper, cosmic ancestor, seed the light by staying grounded. Well, your energy is adept at being able to, even in spite of all of the kind of swirling water energy of Cancer season, kind of find that rootedness. I think that a lot of the ancestral karma and past lives and links into, you know, soul connections at a very deep level are being churned up at the moment, and you may be feeling that very strongly in terms of some of the more you know, fated relationships that feel that way in your life, you know, whether it is a love relationship or just you know, friendships or people that are showing up that feel like they're challenging you, or you know, they're just a really part of your growth this season. You're being invited, I think, really to anchor your energy, and I love the fact that we have this beautiful kind of light coming down into the crown chakra area. So it's about the divine download, linking in really strongly to that star energy, the celestial inspiration that you're going to be receiving. And remember, tower energy also delivers epiphanies. So there is just one powerful moment of awakening that comes. And, you know, let's be honest, like, sometime awakening doesn't land where it's like, you know, we change our entire life overnight. It could just be like the simplest of thing that just all of a sudden makes sense to you in your thought forms, and you realize like where you've been selling yourself out, you know, and that's connected more boldly than ever into who you are moving towards, like the version of you that's emerging out of this season. So okay, Taurus, I hope this gives you a little bit of insight into this month ahead for July. If you would like to join me for the extended reading, I'm going to go ahead and pull us some clarifying cards right now. And you can find the link for this reading in the description box underneath. We speak for another 20 minutes or so. We're going to clarify the main reading. And remember, this is a general, so I'm also going to invite you to think about a question that I might not have answered in the main spread. And we'll also pull a couple of cards on that right now for you, okay? So just focus on that for me just now. Okay. So let's clarify this Knight of Wands energy. Okay, the card of the Devil. Could be a Capricorn energy. Another star coming through here. Page of Swords, High Priestess. Thinking before you speak is going to be important. Eight of Swords. And I think you're going to be conflicted about it, but I know you're going to be able to realise it. Perhaps it's really coming through on a strong relationship level for some of you, or partnership. Card of Justice might link into a Libra air sign as well for some of you. But again, about investment, balancing things out, contracts. Remember, signing contracts after Mercury goes direct is more favourable. Another Two of Wands coming in, so there's lots of planning. I think you are going to be sitting down this month and really working on a strategy for yourself or with others that is going to be really important. Ace of Cups. And it could be about a relationship, how you take something forward, or meeting someone new and just establishing that. Okay, Tower brings the Nine of Swords. Remember the thing with the Nine of Swords, it's often like a lot of our fears are not realised. It's just that we're kind of thinking the worst. And it can be, it can feel intense. It can feel intense and uncomfortable, but there's so much work that we can do to still find peace within that change. So the moon perhaps bringing something into light that just needs to be addressed, yeah? Or perhaps it links to Pisces. Certainly it's news that's travelling towards you, but the situation is changing quickly. That's the positive about this. Queen of Swords coming in with a Ten of Wands. Maybe this is an air sign, a Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. There we go. So, card of Strength. You're being given what you need anyway. Could also be Leo here. New life cycle opening up for you. Another Knight of Wands here. Card of the Hermit. Spiritual journey that you're on this month. Could also be a Virgo energy that we might be dealing with. Empress, beautiful. Very linked into your sign, Taurus. Queen of Pentacles. That feels like your energy here at the root of the reading here. Nice. Okay, let's just peel a couple more. Okay, Taurus, thank you so much for tuning in and supporting the channel. I look forward to continuing this conversation if you're joining me for the extended. Otherwise, I wish you bright blessings for this month of July. Take good care. Bye for now.